Now at 5 a.m. on WKYT this morning, traffic from the Luke Bryan concert caused quite the headache last night. Many were stuck until very early this morning, and we'll have an update just ahead.
Investigators are trying to figure out what led to a soldier being shot and killed at Fort Campbell.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning and welcome to WKYT This Morning on Wednesday, October 7th. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Rebecca Smith. Hope your day's off to a great start. Nice hump day for us.
Yeah, and good weather to enjoy that with sunshine. It's been gorgeous the last couple of days. Let's check in with meteorologist Micah Harris.
And we're going to do it all over again today and tomorrow. The past few days have been exactly the same, mid to upper 70s, even some 80-degree readings, and we'll actually be a degree or two higher today, but they're pretty much the same story. The feel outside will be the same. Temperatures there in the 50s. We hit the afternoon, look for that temperature to be in the upper 70s, lower 80s. Kind of depends on where you are, if you see plenty of sunshine or not. Focus of the forecast, though, is not the next couple of days. It's actually Friday. That's when we start to see a front move on in. That'll bring us some changes on Friday and big changes for the weekend, too. I'll show you all that in full detail in just a few minutes.
Okay, see you in a bit, and we thank you. And country music superstar Luke Bryan rolled into town and put on a big show for those who made it out to the Talon Winery.
Those who could actually get there.
That's
Unfortunately,
right.
Many folks were late. Some didn't make it there at all because traffic was just backed up for miles. WKYT's Mark Barber is on Tates Creek Road with reaction from some of the people who ended up being stuck.
Good morning, Rebecca and Bill. Getting here was a difficulty in and of itself, but getting out of here presented other challenges. I just spoke with cleanup crews out here just a moment ago, and they told me that people were still pulling out of here at the Talon Winery off of Tates Creek Road an hour ago. Now remember, this concert ended around 11 o'clock last night, so it took about 5 hours for these Luke Bryan fans to get out of here, at least most of them to get out of here, we're told by these cleanup crews. But again, getting into this concert venue was a challenge in and of itself. The concert was supposed to begin around 7 o'clock last night, but traffic started backing up long before. When Tates Creek Road changes from 2 lanes to 1 lane, traffic went bumper to bumper and barely moved. It did not take long until it became a nightmare road situation for some drivers. We're told one driver who started with half a tank of gas ran out of gas because he waited in traffic so long. Others ditched their cars on the side of the road and started walking to the concert. We're told one person who started walking was even hit by a vehicle that was still driving in traffic and swerved. Now, Luke Bryan did delay the start of the concert to about 9:30 last night to give fans a chance to make it here, but we're told some people still did not make it to the concert because of the traffic conditions. While it did make for some very frustrating moments for drivers, others told us it was still worth it. Take a listen. And we'll hear from those fans coming up on WKYT News at 5:30. But when we were on our way out here this morning, we did pass several police officers. They were at the intersections along Tates Creek Road. We're told that many officers were out between Hamburg and Man of War, that area of town last night, all night long. So we're told that this could also be a very expensive concert in terms of overtime for police. As for those people who missed the concert because they weren't able to make it here, as of this time, our questions as to whether they will be given a refund for those tickets still have not been answered. That's the latest here from Talon Winery. Mark Barber, WKYT.
What a night it was, certainly. There was at least one crash related to last night's concert traffic. Lexington police say a woman walking away from Talon Winery was hit by a truck. That driver was in stop-and-go traffic and swerved to miss hitting a car and hit the woman instead on the side of the road about a mile from Talon Winery. Police say the woman had minor injuries and the driver is not facing any charges. But some issues out there last night.
Look at all that winding traffic backed up.
Yeah,
Yikes.
Something, wasn't it? All right, it's 5:04, and in other news, an investigation is underway this morning after a soldier was killed on a Kentucky military base.
Officials at Fort Campbell say that the soldier died at the hospital after being hurt in a training operation. WKYT's Michelle Chamberlain's at our live desk with more on what military officials are saying about this death.
Yeah, an official at Fort Campbell is saying that the soldier was shot and killed by another soldier during a routine training Tuesday morning. The soldier died at the hospital on base. The soldier's name is not being released as of right now. Now, officials are saying they believe this was an accident. An investigation is underway and may take weeks to complete. A Fort Campbell spokesperson says the soldier was in a squad-level group of 7 to 9 people. The group was conducting a training exercise using live fire when the soldier was shot. The exercise is routine, and the official says this accident is not something that happens often.
It's something we do fairly often, and these soldiers go into these exercises well trained. I mean, there's steps that go into this before they go into an exercise that takes place under live fire conditions.
No one else was injured in the incident. Other servicemen are said to be receiving counseling. Now, Fort Campbell is home to the Army's 5th largest military population. It consists of 105,000 acres on the Kentucky-Tennessee line. At the live desk, Michelle Chamberlain, WKYT.
All right, thanks so much, Michelle. Well, a stretch of Old Frankfort Pike in Lexington is back open this morning after a crash caused it to shut down for hours. Happened yesterday afternoon, but the road wasn't reopened until about 10 o'clock last night. Investigators say a dump truck hit a utility pole, knocking down power lines across the road. No one was injured, but the crash knocked out power for dozens of customers for a short period of time.
Lexington police issued a warning to people living in the Masterson Station neighborhood after a series of cars were broken into. Police went door to door yesterday handing out flyers to warn people. In the last month, police say they have received 9 reports of thefts. They say in most cases the cars were left unlocked. Investigators say guns, electronics, and other items were stolen from the cars. Police are reminding folks to make sure that your cars are locked.
And if we can correct that part and just get people to remember to just simply do things like that, roll your window up, lock your doors, make sure your valuables are in your trunk, that'll reduce things pretty drastically.
Police say they are also increasing patrols in the Masterson Station area.
An Ohio man is behind bars in Rowan County this morning after police say he traveled to Kentucky thinking he was going to have sex with a teenager. Police arrested 27-year-old Albert Tren as part of an undercover sting. They say an officer posed as a 14-year-old girl and exchanged text messages with Tren. Police say the messages included talks about sexual acts. They say Tren traveled to Moorhead to meet with the girl but was arrested after he arrived. Well, EKU has received some tips as they try to track down the person responsible for the threatening message found in a men's bathroom. The university has issued a $10,000 reward for information leading to an arrest. The FBI's Joint Terrorism Task Force is also helping out with the investigation. As a precaution, Model Laboratory School on campus is closed the rest of the week.
A debate in the governor's race took place in Danville last night. The debate was held at Center College, and it featured Democrat Jack Conway and Republican Matt Bevin. Independent candidate Drew Curtis did not qualify for last night's debate. One of the issues discussed, Kentucky county clerks who are refusing to issue marriage licenses to same-sex couples for religious reasons.
In a regular session of the General Assembly, if we can come up with some narrowly tailored plan that upholds the Supreme Court's decision on marriage equality, but also allows for very narrowly tailored exemptions to allow those few clerks to exercise their religious beliefs, then I'm okay with that accommodation. And if I were governor, I would indeed remove the names of the clerks from the forms. We would, in fact, make this a downloadable form. It would then be filed like a deed or a mortgage or a lien, like any other document that would allow it to then be adjudicated accordingly, but not officiated by the clerks themselves.
The candidates will take part in another debate that is coming up on Sunday, October 25th. It will be held on the Eastern Kentucky University campus in Richmond, and you can see that debate live on WKYT.
Well, the city of Lexington is thinking about paying a consulting group to come up with a possible new site location for a government center. According to Business Lexington, an Urban County Council panel recommended that the city pay nearly $200,000 to the consulting group. If approved, the group would have 90 days to deliver a report and recommendations. The new developers of the Centerpoint project have suggested that the city build a new government center there, but the city has not set any kind of timeline yet for a possible move.
All right, lots to consider there. A Lexington-based company had a special guest to help them celebrate a big milestone. Valvoline kicked off its 150-year commemoration with an event in Rupp Arena last night. And NASCAR Sprint Cup driver Dale Earnhardt Jr. was on hand to help the company celebrate.
Pretty awesome. They've been a great partner of ours, and really help our performance out on the racetrack. We started out at the beginning of the year, and in just several months we've been able to find some extra horsepower in the composition of the oil.
Valvoline is America's oldest registered motor oil brand. And Dale Earnhardt having a good time there.
Yeah, major company.
All right, our time this morning is 5:10. Wednesday morning, it's Hump Day on WKYT, and a lot more news is just ahead.
Coming up, we'll show you how a teenager took his love for the St. Louis Cardinals and turned it into an unusual piece of art. That story right ahead.
And we have 2 more really nice days before this front moves on in. And that front will bring us some rain. I'll show you that in your weekend forecast coming up.